Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. I have a great lesson for you today. It is actually one of my favorite lessons in the Course in Miracles, definitely in the top 5. It is called By Grace I Live, by Grace I Am Released. And I'm going to read you a little bit from this lesson, and as we read it, let those ideas light your mind. Because truly, that is what they are designed to do, because it's going to tell you about the other side. It's going to tell you about a state that is unknown to the human condition, and yet it's going to tell you about your natural state. It's going to tell you about who you are in truth. So, for those of us who are starting to remember who we are, who are undergoing a spiritual transformation and awakening, this will sound familiar. And whether you've had an experience of that or not, again, that's not important. Just remember that experience will come in time to every mind. The revelation that the Father and Son is one will come in time to every mind, yet is that time determined by the mind itself. But time, again, is a sleight of hand, it's an illusion, right? So listen to this. This lesson is absolutely incredible. He says, grace is an aspect of the love of God which is most like the state prevailing in the unity of truth. Right? He's going to tell you about your natural state. It is the world's most lofty aspiration, for it leads beyond the world entirely. It is past learning, yet the goal of learning, for grace cannot come until the mind prepares itself for true acceptance. I love that. Right? You're being told this is your natural state, or the closer you can come to it. However, you can't be taught how to attain grace. It's the goal of your learning, but you can't be taught what you are. So this is going to tell you, so all you're doing in your spiritual transformation is prepare yourself, right? And this is the entire mind training of A Course in Miracles. It prepares your mind for your transition, if you will. Does that make sense? For you accepting yourself as you truly are. Grace becomes inevitable instantly in those who have prepared a table where it can be gently laid and willingly received. Listen to this, I love this line. Grace is acceptance of the love of God within a world of seeming hate and fear. Seeming hate and fear, why? Because a world of hate and fear is impossible, right? But it sure seems to be like that, right? By grace alone, the hate and fear are gone, for grace presents a state so opposite to everything the world contains, I love that those whose minds are lighted by the gift of grace cannot believe the world of fear is real. Right? You're no longer deceived by it, because if your mind is lit up by the state of grace, no matter what it seems to present to you as hate and fear can no longer have any reality to you, because that's not your experience. Your mind is enlightened, you're lit up, right? Love that. Grace is not learned. You can't learn that, right? The final step must go beyond all learning. Grace is not the goal this course aspires to attain. Yet we prepare for grace in that an open mind can hear the call to awaken. I love that. But that's what's happening to you now. If you are waking up, what happens? You've learned that you need an open mind, because your judgments are going to be false. You have learned that you do not know. You have learned to enter into any situation with the awareness that you do not really know what's going on. And that way you can be shown, that way you can learn, right? Unless you are willing to admit that you do not know, you cannot learn. It is not shut against God's voice. It has become aware that there are things it doesn't know, and thus it is ready to accept a state completely different from experience with which it is familiarly at home. Love that. It says oneness is simply the idea God is. And in his being he encompasses all things. No mind holds anything but him. We say God is, and then we cease to speak. For in that knowledge, words are meaningless. There are no lips to speak them, and no part of mind sufficiently distinct to feel that it is now aware of something not himself. Love it. Again, he's talking about your true state. It has united with its source, and like its source itself, it merely is. We cannot speak, nor write, nor even think of this at all. He's talking about an experience that is way beyond your human experience, way beyond how you conceive yourself now, right? Yet forgiveness, taught and learned, brings with it the experience which bear witness that the time the mind itself determined to abandon all but this is now at hand. We do not hasten it, in that what you will offer was concealed from him who teaches what forgiveness means. Right? You say, listen, you can attain all of this through forgiveness, and that we can learn and must, right? Now he's going to make an extra step for you. He says all learning was already in his mind, accomplished and complete, right? What you seems to be learning has already been accomplished in truth. Yet that doesn't mean that you're not going to learn it. Learn you, teach you will, and teach you must, right? He recognized all that time holds and gave it to all minds, that each one might determine from a point where time was ended, when it is released to revelation and eternity. We have repeated several times before that you bid make a journey that is done. I'm sorry, I cannot but smile when I read these lines, because these ideas light my mind. My mind recognizes that this is true. Can you see? So because of that, it gets happy when it reads this, because it recognizes the truth of these words, and it also recognizes that what it's trying to convey in words is way beyond what can be conveyed in words, right? It talks about the truth. It talks about an experience. There is no need to further clarify what no one in the world can understand. When revelation of your oneness comes, it will be known and fully understood. Again, it's talking about an experience that's not from here, that immediately reveals everything to you, revelation, right? And that will show you that what that experience reveals to you cannot possibly be expressed in words, which are limited symbols and don't even come close to grasping that experience. Those of you who've had it know what I'm talking about. Suffice it then that you have work to do, to play your part. The ending must remain obscure to you until your part is done, right? It doesn't matter, for your part is still what all the rest depends on, right? This is, I have a part in God's plan to fulfill, right? We have these lessons, right? My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. As you take the role assigned to you, and I guarantee you have a role that is assigned to you, salvation comes a little nearer each uncertain heart that does not beat as yet in tune with God. Forgiveness is the central theme that runs throughout salvation. Of course, this is all forgiveness. Nothing has been done to you. You're the cause of this, right? I love it. Holding all its parts in meaningful relationship. The course it runs directed and the outcome sure. And now we ask for grace, the final gift salvation can bestow. I love it. It's just an incredible lesson. I can just keep on reading and reading and reading, but maybe I suggest that you read this yourself. This is lesson 169 in your workbook. By grace I live, by grace I am released. And it just really tells you, first of all, about something that will be revealed to you, but in actuality, that time has been set, and yet it's determined by the mind itself. If that seems like a contradiction to you, remember, that's what this is, right? This is a paradox. You're undertaking a journey that's done, right? You're learning what the mind has already learned, and so on and so on, right? But it's talking about an experience beyond all of this. And it also tells you that you are in a process of preparing your mind for it. So forgiveness, then, which is the action of mind that this Course in Miracles teaches, prepares your mind for that. Hence, the necessity and the importance of forgiving everything that seems to be happening to you. And I mean everything. Because what? It's carefully and beautifully designed by one whose only purpose is your good. Right? It's not happening to you just by accident. It's happening to you because this is the plan for you. This is the curriculum for you, right? And it seems to be that things happen to you at random and things that certain things that are not supposed to happen and you don't want them to happen. And yet remember that nothing happens but by accident. It is part of a greater plan. You just can't conceive of it. Anyways, read this if you have a chance today. Lesson 169 in your workbook. By grace I live, by grace I am released. I love you. I hope you have a great, great day wherever, whenever you are. And I'll see you everywhere.